There you have it. Chris, what you got for us?
I have bad news.
Yeah.
We got over the past weekend the news that Lance Reddick had passed away. Of course, he's a famous actor. Has been in a ton of different things. Been in The Wire and he was in Netflix Resident Evil. Has been in the John Wick films. Lots of other things. But he, from a gaming standpoint, most recently, he has also played the character of Sylens in Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. And for a long time now, back to the launch, essentially, or close to the launch window of the PS4, when Destiny dropped, he has played Commander Zavala, which is the Titan Vanguard, his voice to that character. Just been a staple in that game.
Staple.
Yeah.
And he's one of
on
those
top
guys,
of that,
too, that doesn't put on a voice. And so when you hear him, you're like, oh, that's Lance Reddick. Because he doesn't usually put a voice on. And so it's like, it's him in every game. You're like, oh, that's him. That's
he
him.
may
That's him.
change up a cadence a little bit, but his voice is the voice that he uses.
Yes.
So he's instantly recognizable. Of course, in Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West, they also use his likeness, which is a whole nother situation that brings up like, man, I feel for, not everybody feels for him and his family and everything like that, but then also for the developers at Guerrilla, because he was a pretty important character at the end of Horizon in both of those games, and they've got a third one coming, and now they're gonna, I don't know what they're gonna do with his character and how they're gonna do, because it's one of those things where like you don't want them to recast him, but at the same time to the story he's very integral. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. But as you can imagine, the people that have worked with him in television and film, but also in the gaming space, people at Guerrilla and Bungie both said lots of glowing things, talked about how important he was and his profound impact on the other people that were in the games that he starred with. And then in Destiny, they had one of the things that you can do, they had a little event that kind of attributed to him, but also the Vanguards are kind of throughout the tower or the various other areas that you can be in the game. I actually don't know if they go to the tower now because I haven't played Destiny in a hot minute, but you can just walk around and Commander Zavala will be there. And so people were doing things where you go there and when you're in the tower, you can use some of the emotes and various things, like you can do a kneel, or you can do a salute, or all kinds of different ones. And so a lot of people were gathering around in those common spaces just around him, and then everybody doing these emotes and various things, and just everything you can do to kind of pay respects. And, he wasn't, I don't know that he was like a huge gamer, but he definitely had an account, and he played Destiny.
Oh, wow.
And I know for sure he played Destiny. Like, you can go in and see his hours logged and everything like that. Like, he was a gamer for sure. And so it's just one of those things where when you see it come across, when I don't even remember if it was like just scrolling the internet or if it was Twitter or wherever I saw it first, but it's one of those things where you definitely do like a double take. And you're like, nah, that doesn't feel right.
Well, because he was so young.
Yeah, he was 60 years old.
Yeah.
And he didn't even look that old to me. Like, I mean, I was like, ain't this cat like 42 or something? Like,
right.
So,
you know what they say,
it's
Chris?
What do they say?
Black don't crack.
Well, they do say that. Yes, they do.
They do say that.
Yeah, but I don't really know how to follow that up. But
and that's why we said it.
Yeah. But I will say, I will say that man, y'all just throw me all off. I don't know how to land this plane now. So other than this sucks, but I am glad that all these various communities have come together and just kind of pay tribute and everything. That's been really
and hopefully,
heartwarming to see.
As painful as it is, you hope that his family is getting to see it as a love letter to him.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean, and how much good work he's put in. And he was very active on Twitter and social media, and so you saw, he was always doing videos and stuff like that, and seemed like a really friendly guy. And so he doesn't leave that taste in your mouth where you're like, oh gosh, that guy's such a hater. You do same thing. When I scrolled past on Twitter, I was like, oh no, it was such a sad situation. But I think it's a beautiful thing that he gets to live on in gaming and
I love that,
and all these things. And I don't know if they'll voice match him or and still use his likeness. I guess that comes down to what the family wants. But you kind of, I don't know. I was so torn about Wakanda Forever that I don't know what way is better to go. You know what I mean? I didn't want them to CG Chadwick because it's a live action movie, but in a video game it's a little different. You know what I mean? Where CGing somebody is that's the game. And so I would love. Obviously, I didn't play Horizon, but if he's so integral, I would love if they found a way to keep him as long as the family was okay with it. And then two, hopefully the family gets paid. You know what I'm saying? Like that money falls to them and to his wife and kids and stuff like that, and they can kind of that's a little bit of a band-aid where it's not like, okay, now we got to get to work. And so we'll see how they handle it. It'll be very interesting because I could see it being respectful on both sides.
Yes. I really loved that Sarah never knew his real name. She only referred to him as Guardians, because whenever you see him, he's like, Guardians. And so like, she's watching Fringe, and she's like, oh my gosh, Guardians is in this. And so it was just, I love that. That's how she knew him. It was from
Destiny. From Destiny.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Very sad.
Yeah.